Ron Rivera recently had a press conference, and in that press conference, he spoke about Jacoby Brissett and he spoke about Sam Howell. And he basically said that they're still in competition for the starting quarterback spot. So I feel like that's false. I feel like what they're doing, and Eric Bieniemy said it himself that he loves to have everyone compete. He loves creating an atmosphere where there's a lot of competition because it brings the best out of his players, and that's what he thinks is going to happen. So I think that's all they're doing is just creating that atmosphere for players to not get lazy and continue to work at their craft and to still be hungry, and not just think I got it so I can just chill or just not give it my all. He wants everybody to go fully out, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is a great way to do it, but they're going to continue to make it seem as though Sam Howell could or could not be the starting quarterback. So they're not going to just tell us, okay, yeah, he's the guy, because they don't want Sam Howell to get too comfortable. They want him to stay uncomfortable. But in reality, we know for a fact Sam Howell is the guy, because think about who they passed up on and how many opportunities they missed. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they were going to go with Jacoby, they could have they might as well have just went for Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, anybody in the draft. But they didn't pick up anybody from there. So you're telling me you're going to miss out on everybody in the draft, everybody in free agency for Jacoby? I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. Versus somebody that's been here and starting from the ground up, and he's been behind two veterans for a whole year, and he played against the Cowboys, and we all know when you play the Cowboys, that's like a Super Bowl game, and if you win, you won the Super Bowl for us, and that's how I felt about the situation. And I feel like my boys, Sam Howell can do it, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like we're hearing anything extraordinary in the practice. We hear the same stuff. Somebody threw a pick and somebody else threw a pick. It sounds very balanced when I'm looking at the, news reports and stuff like that. And I don't see them coming. I barely see any information about them talking about Jacoby. Like, if they're talking about Jacoby, it's usually his character and, just the fact that he's providing some nice competition. But my thing is, with all Jacoby's experience, shouldn't that, propel him above Sam Howell? There shouldn't be any competition, you know what I'm saying? Just think about it. Like, if Jacoby is that good, that he's able to take Sam Howell's spot, there shouldn't be any competition. But because he's been in a year, and he's been in the league for 7 years, so I feel like he should have all the traits and all the, attributes that any quarterback should have. You know what I'm saying? Like, he should have everything that you're looking for. So if that's the case, why go after Sam Howell, or why talk about why did Ron Rivera at one point say that Sam Howell is going to be starting quarterback for this year if you're willing to use another quarterback in his position? It doesn't make sense, because I understand that we have a new offense right now, and it's being controlled by Eric Bieniemy, and he has so many things he want to do to the offense, but still it doesn't make sense, because it's like so much you're giving up for Jacoby. If that's the case, why build up? Why keep him? Why keep Sam Howell if you're not going to be willing to let him start the first week? And, I know for a fact he's not that far off in practice to the point where Jacoby could come in and take his spot. Because if that's the case, you passed up on so many opportunities. You could have had Derek Carr. You could have had Jimmy Garoppolo. You could still now go get Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really, if you're willing to make Jacoby Brissett the starter, it just feels like a slap in the face. And the way I see it, I feel like they're only saying this just to keep Sam Howell on his toes and keep him giving his best at every practice. And they want to see what else he can do and what else he's capable of. And honestly, I thought Jacoby was just a veteran for him to learn from and to guide him to where he needs to go, you know. And then Jacoby came out and said yesterday, that, you know, he only came here to be a starter. And I get that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get that. But because of what the Commanders gave up this season and what, you know, they portrayed to us, I feel like they owe us Sam Howell that starting position. I feel like he has to be that starter. He's going to be the starter, and I don't feel like there's no question in my mind that he's going to be the starter week 1. So I think it's just a bunch of, they're going to continue this thing. They're going to continue this every time they have a press conference, or every time they're asked about Sam Howell and Jacoby, they're going to say, yeah, it's still a competition. You know, they're going to keep hyping it up. But in reality, we know Sam Howell is that guy.